Poetic beats. Poetic beats.
This is First GenXers.
Poetic beats. Poetic beats.
Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of the Cheap Papa Podcast. I am your host, Dark Lord 100, along with these gentlemen, the Saint and Rune Scryer. Welcome, gentlemen, to the show.
Hey.
And we are here to talk just about everything we can about pop culture, video games, and of course, that big sweaty men athletes.
No, we need to stop describing that, man. That's getting kind of off the hook. Man.
That's what it is, man. It's big sweaty men and little sweaty women. So, all right. So, as always, I like to challenge the minds of my co-hosts, and this week I am challenging them with yet another pop culture quiz. This time, you're gonna have to know some details about some movies that I know we've all seen, but let's see how well you remember them. Mm-hmm. All right. The first question up is, in The Breakfast Club, 1985, what does Alan Sheedy's character, reveal that she did to get into detention? Think about it for a small bit, gentlemen, as we continue on into the hot topic segment. And let's see if you guys can grab that one right. All right, so first up, somebody told the people at Dragon Con, to call the Popo because a young lady by the name of Oriana Garez was being accused of selling AI art. Dave, you care to tell us a little bit more about this situation here?
Okay, so Dragon Con, one of the biggest geek convention celebrations outside of San Diego Comic-Con and Gen Con. Definitely top 5 in America. They have a long-standing no AI art or AI content policy, meaning that they do not accept anyone who uses generative AI, whether it be for creating art or writing. Artist Alley, which for those of you who've never been to a con, Artist Alley is a separate area designated for small, individual, sometimes independent studios to have booths at reduced rate, while the big names, Marvel, DC, Warner Brothers, Apple, blah, 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 they take up the main floor space. This is a way to give individual retailers a presence at a major convention at a more affordable price in a specific designated area. So this vendor, Oriana Gertz, and this got very complicated because I know somebody who was at who is at Dragon Con and has a bit of the inside scoop of what went down. But
Okay.
she is a well-known AI artist who has her own gallery down in Tampa Bay where she sells her AI generated art.
Okay.
Okay. The the vendor contracts for DragonCon stipulate no AI art.
Okay.
If we find that you are selling generative AI material, we will ask you to leave without a refund.
I'm only gonna stop you, Dave, because that is counter to what they say in the article, which is that DragonCon currently lacks a clear public policy
No,
addressing AI or in
that
its
is
artist alley or exhibition guidelines.
no. That's bad reporting.
Okay.
They have long. They were one of the first conventions to publicly state we will not tolerate AI.
Okay.
So,
Sure.
yeah. So now this was pointed out to the convention organizers and convention runners, and they asked the vendor to leave. The vendor refused.
Fair enough.
That's why the cops were called.
Okay.
It wasn't, yeah, we just found somebody selling AI. We need to get them out of here. It was a violation of the term of the vendor contract. Um, Additionally, it was not Miss Gertz at the table herself. It was her husband. She
Okay.
wasn't even at the convention. Her husband was there and had put in the vendor application himself under her name. Now, adding on to this is that the portfolio that was on display apparently, allegedly, had um, pictures, both generative and non generative, by other artists. And they were claiming them to be their own. Now, this isn't your usual artist alley where you can find like a dozen freelance artists willing to draw you a picture of whatever,
Right.
you know. So this was deliberately claiming that this piece of artwork was hers, that she made it.
Okay.
So there is all type of fuckery going on around with this story.
Yes, sir.
Now, when the vendor got kicked out, apparently everyone that witnessed this in our alley was clapping and cheering because they hate the bitch. And they, yeah, along with the Bye Felicias, they put up um, little notices of why this booth is now empty in there. And
Well, wow.
started a little hashtag human art for
Okay.
Instagram posting. It was,
In the world of comics, and I've always believed that, I'm sorry, no AI art in Artist Alley. Period. Dot T
period.
in the discussion. Fuck
Yeah.
that. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. When all these artists, such as one of the people that were one of the individuals that was there was artist Afua Richardson. Okay, and a lot of these artists craft they're crafting their work. They're putting a lot of effort in
Yeah.
putting the paper to the pencil, or the pencil to the paper, the pen to to all of that.
I mean,
And
you
then
guys,
all of a sudden you're tapping keys and
Yeah.
create an art and look and get the fuck out of here, bro. I'm
Yeah.
not with AI art, especially when it comes to comics.
You guys both know freelance artists that do commission work in Artist Alley. That's how they
Yeah, yeah,
make.
yeah.
Make
That's how they move their stuff.
they
But
do
I mean,
not they
come
do
on.
not own their own art gallery in a city like Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Okay, these guys, they are razor thin on their profit margins, and when you're doing the AI crap in Artist Alley, you are taking the spot away
From
from
real artists.
a real artist.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
who could use the exposure.
So,
Yeah.
well, guess them people won't be coming back to Dragon Con anytime soon.
No,
As we
they
move,
will not.
as we move forward in our show, we will get to the next hot topic, which comes out of Hollywood. And for those of you first-person shooter, Call of Duty fans, it is basically official that Paramount and Activision are partnering on a Call of Duty live action film.
Why?
I guess somebody had mentioned that here's what I don't get. Okay, first of all, what era? And no matter what era they choose, because I know Call of Duty moves through multiple eras, including being past, modern day, and future war.
Well,
And yeah,
And
not so much.
hold on, let me finish. Like, and you have all that area to work with, but no matter what area you work with, you're not doing something that hasn't been done before. We've had military movies from the past. We've had military movies from the present. We've had military movies about the future. So no matter what area you're doing it's even though it's Call of Duty, it's already been done before. Right. So I think that is just a small wall that they can run into. But other than that, I love the idea of a Call of Duty franchise. I hope they throw some of the Black Ops stuff in there.
That's what I was getting ready. That's what I was getting ready to say because now if it happens to be a movie, I really wish that they put the characters that are coming from the Black Ops, like maybe anywhere from I'll say one, three. No, I'll say one, maybe two, five, yeah, and five, and six. This last one, like those guys, like that comes from the that comes from the first like Desert Storm, like 91 and so forth. So yeah, I think that we should do that.
yeah.
Hold on. I'll throw in Dave before you go. I'll throw in a little Tech Tinkers talk. Call of Duty movie, an hour and a half of respawning every 15 seconds. Spawn dies. I believe they've even done that. I think it was called Edge of Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
With Tom Cruise, which my boy lists as his favorite Tom Cruise movie because of the fact that Tom Cruise dies over and over and over again. That was a great chat.
Okay.
Anyway. But Dave, what were your thoughts on the? Go ahead.
I totally agree with you. Any era of conflict, there's already been like half a dozen superlative movies that stand out. Now, I know Call of Duty's done future warfare.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've gone full on sci-fi starfighters and
They've done it.
laser guns.
I don't know about Call of Duty, but I know they've
No,
done
no,
Modern
no.
Warfare and they've done Future
No.
Warfare.
The Call of Duty Black Ops 3 and 4 was on some futuristic shit, and and trust and believe. Actually, it started in 2, 3 and 4, and they started going into the future like 20 or 30, 40 years. Fucking, I'm like, nah, bro. I don't want no. I want to see real weapons in some of this shit. That's why I like Battlefield.
Now Yeah, the other thing that what I've heard about the Call of Duty movie proposal is that Paramount wants to get Mr. Steven Spielberg to direct.
Yeah.
So it's basically going to be Call of Duty Saving Private Ryan.
That's only if they get Spielberg and Hanks involved, right?
No, but it's like,
No.
but it gets to your point, Kev, that we've seen this before.
Right.
Okay, it's been done before. Okay.
So I think unless you're gonna, like, when I say really tie it to the game, I mean really tie it to the game. Not just try to do a live action movie of a Call of Duty game, but really tie it to the game. Kind of like, think Tron, where the characters inside the movie are the characters inside the game. And that would be something different. But even though that's been done before too, but
So
that would be something different, but a lot less time.
So then, Call of Duty Jumanji.
Pretty much, I guess. I did finally see the trailer this week, the full trailer for the new Tron, and I don't know. Like, I'm half tempted. I'm not excited. Nowhere near excited.
Tron Legacy didn't really.
Jared Leto in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the main character, which is another reason why I'm very.
Yeah. That's like them old school Suicide Joker vibes. Like,
yeah.
No.
All
it's
right,
not what we needed, and it is exactly not what we wanted. So.
Yeah. Hey, Jared, you're a method actor. Your character is this AI program that gets put into android body. So when the androids get destroyed over and over and over and over again, they get the same character gets reloaded into the android body. So here's your method acting.
All right. So on that note, what we'll do is this. Saint, do you have any shout outs to the people in the content or in the comments?
Let me go ahead. First of all, I got to give a shout out. Tech Tinkers, man. As always, the tech guy, helps us showing up and showing out. Then we got DJ Ro. What's going on? Coming straight up out of Sacramento, California. Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Thank you, sir. Definitely appreciate it. And we are back to the program.
All right, hold on. One last one from Tecker on the Call of Duty. Tech Tinkers Call of Duty movie, $80 ticket, $50 for each of the DLC, popcorn, small cup of ice, splash of Coke, candy box. Is there an offer to buy a season pass where I can get $5 off of any of my DLC?
Don't forget
you're killing me.
Don't forget the lobby.
Yeah, you're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. All right. So now back to the pop culture quiz question before we move out of this segment. And that was, in The Breakfast Club in 1985, what does Allison, Ali Sheedy's character, reveal she did to get into detention? Any guesses?
I believe she started a fire.
All right. One for the show. She didn't actually do anything.
Oh, that's right.
Detention because she had nothing better to do.
That's right. That's right. Anthony Michael Hall's character set fire to the locker.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. Tech Tinker's laughing at us. All right. So then let's get into the first segment of the show now that we're nice and all right, Pop Culture Corner. And as we take shot number 2 at stumping these two gentlemen, the next pop culture quiz question, if you know the answer, go ahead and put it in the comment section. In Die Hard with a Vengeance, what riddle does Simon Gruber force McLean and Zeus to solve involving a 5-gallon jug and a 3-gallon jug? Save your answers for the end of the show. Pretty sure we've all seen that movie, or not end of the show, but end of the segment. and we'll jump right into our first pop culture corner segment, which is about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, as he uncontrollably sobs as the Smashing Machine, the movie that he's done recently involving MMA great. I forget what the name of it. His name
Banks.
was. What's up? Wrestler Mark Kerr.
Mark Kerr.
Mark Kerr, yeah. Gets a 15-minute Venice standing ovation and generates Oscar buzz.
Yeah. So they showed the film at this year's Venice Film Festival, and this is for serious cinema people only.
Right.
Looking at you, Martin Scorsese. So you don't find The Rock's movies premiering in Venice,
Right.
especially at the Prestige Pavilions. So to get a 15-minute standing ovation for the film, that is like massive honors from the film
100%.
community. And this has just been too long coming for The Rock. We know he can act because we saw his first real job was the remake of Walking Tall.
Yeah.
Okay.
His first actual
He
act.
showed that he could act. Hollywood, though, just wants him to be The Rock cosplaying as this or that character. Okay. And I don't blame them. He's one hell of a charming guy.
I'll be right back.
He's really great. It's the same problem that Will Smith encounters in Hollywood. They are both likable and draw you in to that's what Hollywood wants on the screen. We know Will Smith could act, but he could have pulled off Deathstroke in the first Suicide Squad, but no, we got the fresh assassin of Bel Air. Am I wrong on that?
The fresh assassin of Bel Air.
Am I wrong?
I mean, you could yeah.
Hey,
You're not wrong.
And it's the same guy who burst onto the scene with 6 Degrees of Separation and Oscar buzz. So The Rock just fell into that Hollywood stereotype, which I'm sure he's not too upset about because he made probably close to $500 million or more acting that way. And now it's his time to show, yes, I can be a serious actor. Batista got a bit of an advantage because, let's face it, nobody really wants to go see a film starring the Beast unless he's being the bad guy or the heavy. And so,
Well, I mean, I did see the movie My Spy, and
yeah, I'm not saying everything he's done is great,
no,
but
that movie was actually pretty good.
but he's had more chances than The Rock has because even when The Rock's doing comedy roles like playing the Tooth Fairy in that film or other stuff like that, it's still The Rock playing that. So Batista got roles that did not necessarily tap into him translating his wrestling persona over. And I think that was to his benefit because he really showed. I mean, Drax was not a simple role by any stretch of the imagination. To be that much of a comedic straight man takes a lot of discipline and talent. And then
that's
you know,
great.
Blade Runner 2049, 2049. Yeah, that James Bond, 007 Spectre, one of the most memorable Bond henchmen in there. Just and
Yeah, because
and,
he
and
he
a
he he
totally,
did.
a totally physical acting role for him, where he didn't have to say anything, man.
Well, I mean, it's not so much he didn't have to say anything too, though, man. Because I mean, just remember how he first came in. Like when he first came in
Yeah.
and killed that dude, it was like, oh, whoa, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, that shit was on point. Like,
But yeah. So,
yeah,
but I'm glad that Rock's at a stage of fame and comfortability where he can take these challenging roles that may not be as financially lucrative
Yeah.
or as widely acclaimed by the public, but he can afford to go into his critical Oscar bait
Yeah.
stage of acting now.
Well, here's the thing about it is that he's at a point where he's a big enough star that he can start choosing the roles that he's taking. He's not just taking roles to keep food on the table or
Right.
to
Well, I don't,
put money in his bank account. He's taking roles that actually mean something to him. You look at
but
things like Ballers that he's done recently.
I don't think that he ever really was taking roles simply for the money. I think
I
that
wouldn't say for the money, but for the
right,
exposure.
right, and
Like because like the Scorpion.
I think that it was more a issue of no one really wanting to take a chance on him, so he's not getting these scripts sent to him or his agent called up for these roles. Like,
Well, okay. I think here's what we would be gauging and talking about that is the fact that The Rock was a gigantic star before he ever did his first role. The
yes,
Rock was a lot of the reason why people came to see the Mummy, the Scorpion King, when it was released that he was going to be in it, and
yeah,
a lot of people were disappointed with the fact that he was only in it for about 35 seconds.
yeah,
And I'll say, but
yeah,
in general, he was already a huge name. So yes, he was getting roles, but it's the different types of roles. I agree with you to an extent that he wasn't getting, he wasn't going to get an Oscar-worthy role. Like a role, to be honest with you, Walking Tall was a role kind of similar to that, and it was what how do you say, an anomaly that he got it so early in his career. But again,
right.
how big of a star was he when he first came to Hollywood? Was he an up-and-coming struggling actor, or did he jump into the scene as a hot commodity? Which he
Yeah,
well, no,
did.
he kind of jumped into the scene as a hot commodity because you got
right.
Yeah,
to remember
But
he
but
he did that role where he played that gladiator in that episode of Star Trek Voyager.
right,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's what people stereotyped him in the role as, and even the Smashing Machine, it sort of stereotypes him, but it's being done in a way that allows him to more fully examine his acting potentials. Getting into the relationship issues, the pain addiction
Well,
issues,
okay.
the deeper, darker stuff that he normally doesn't come near because people don't
I would
offer him.
say he didn't. Yeah, I would say yeah. People haven't necessarily offered him roles as such, but I would say as well, though. Again, I think I just had this conversation with somebody else, and I had it on the show a couple of weeks ago about everybody says The Rock plays the same character, but at the end of the day, I don't believe he does because the
No,
guy
he
in
doesn't.
Gridiron Gang, it's
They
just that
make they make the
who he
role.
is, his
Snitch.
character shines through no matter who he's playing. It shines through.
Yeah,
And it's just who he is as a natural person.
and it's
But
also
you look
part
at
of the
roles like
it's also
you look
part
at
of the
roles,
script
hold on,
writing.
let me get to hold on. You look at
Yeah,
roles like Gridiron Gang. Like
yeah,
again, like I loved him for that role, but it was just like it wasn't because he didn't fit because of who he is. It was just when I finally saw the actual coach at the end of the movie and he was white as day, I was like, there are other people you could have gotten to play that coach.
Yeah.
You got The Rock because he's a known commodity and he's going to bring people into the theaters.
Exactly.
But
it's also a part of the script writing process in that once you have the primary cast, you go through the script again, you make tweaks to adjust each role to the strengths of the particular actor. And everyone tweaks the Rock's character to bring out more of the Rockness.
I would say yes. I would say yes. I don't think it's tweaked. I think there's nothing he can do to stop it from coming out. Is what I say when I mean that. What you're seeing in there is what everybody is seeing in the character as, oh, that's The Rock being The Rock in this character is not. That's just Dwayne bringing a part of Dwayne to whatever character he's in.
Right.
Because like I said, if you look at the range of roles that he's had, look at his role in Be Cool, where he was a gay gangster. Like I thought he should have at least got an Oscar nomination for that. Like he played that role to the teeth, and him and Vince Vaughn had amazing chemistry in that movie.
Yeah. And sometimes it just takes that one role to get you noticed by the critics and not passed over. I mean, Robin Williams. He, he was the psychotic funny man until Good Morning Vietnam.
Yeah.
And that's what everyone stood up and took notice of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does do that. He says, Tech Tinker says, The Rock moves through the industry creating a wake that makes people big. He does that, The Rock. Yeah, if you work with him, it's an honor to an extent. All right, so the next story that we have in Pop Culture Corner is going to be about Disney. Of course, Disney and Marvel. Disney, the big evil Disney.
Yeah.
Marvel now restrict Fantagraphics over Bill Everett collection. Dave, you care to fill us in a little bit more?
All right. So first, a little bit of background. Fantagraphics is an independent publishing company that will license and reprint older, among their publishing stuff, is that they will do reprints of older Silver, Golden Age, Bronze Age comics in them.
Right.
Okay. Nothing strange there. Bill Everett, another quiet major force in the comics industry. He co-created Submariner back in the day. He is the co-creator of Marvel's Daredevil. Okay. For Daredevil especially, he was the Jack Kirby to Stan Lee's, Stan Lee when it came to Daredevil. He also did a prolific amount of pre-Comics Code shock and horror comics magazines. Now, here is the issue. This is not Disney being Disney, okay? The problem is that 6 of the stories in the Bill Everett collection that Fantagraphics was going to put out
Right.
come from a licensed pre-code comic book called Suspense. Now, Suspense was a tie-in to an old CBS radio show of the same name in the 1950s. Back in the 40s and 50s, there were a lot of comic tie-ins to radio shows. DC printed a comic tie-in for a radio show called Big Town, which starred Edward G. Robinson. as a newspaper editor. But
Okay.
Suspense was just random tales, um, very famous. Um, had Paul Frees as the narrator, who most of you are going to know as the ghost host of um, Haunted Mansion
Okay.
in Disney parks. Yes,
Okay.
yes. The Roman Wines Company of Fresno, California, bring you Suspense, musical sting. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it
it's
sounds
a
like
and
some old school radio kick out and crank the radio shit
oh
type.
yeah, exactly. And it starred
Mhm.
the biggest acting stars of the day, um, stories from all over, ranging from Edgar Allan Poe to Richard Bloch, just everywhere, including their own house writers. So the problem is that because those particular stories, 6 stories by Bill Everett, were printed in suspense, Marvel does not own those stories directly.
Okay.
So
Real quick,
Disney, yeah,
real quick. I want to go ahead because I think this is the first time she's actually been in here, maybe a couple of times, but Whirlwind Dreamer. Thank
hey,
you so
hey,
much. Well, I've been following you for for quite a while and so forth, and you're listen. You guys get over there to her channel. The music it will give you good vibes,
yeah.
get you excellent vibes. Yeah, I vibe on it. Helps me to go to sleep sometime at night. So, thank you. Definitely appreciate you. All right,
So
back to the show.
to wrap up an overly pedantic story, like I usually do and have, um, Disney does not have the direct rights to those 6 stories. Those belong to CBS, and Disney just they can't deal with CBS on that for whatever reason. Either it's just not going to be cost effective to do it, or whatever. So they're not saying that there can't be, you know, a Bill Everett collection the Fantagraphics can do. It's just that they cannot use those particular stories because they don't own them. Now, of course, Fantagraphics can always go to CBS
Yeah.
to 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 get the sign off, but we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see.
We
All right.
will see.
So the next subject up comes back to us from the DCU. That is the one and only Mr. James Gunn announces his Superman follow up. Let's take a look at the tweet. Let's see.
Yeah.
And ta-da! It's a animated image, or not animated, but hand-drawn image of
Not just
Superman standing next to Lex
not just
in
any
the
hand
power suit.
drawn image. If you notice that signature down by Mr. Luther's
That's
leg,
Jim Lee.
that is Jim Lee indeed.
Yes, yes. So the talk is that the next Superman story from Man of Tomorrow will involve, looks like maybe Lex Luthor in the suit
In
of
the
power.
power suit, in the power suit, possibly Lex trying to convince everyone that he's a good guy, because that's a recurring theme in the modern DCU is Lex taking up, being showing up and being the hero while stabbing Superman from behind in the shadows at the
Yeah,
same time.
but that's
So
what
yeah,
he does.
yeah, that is what he does. So yeah, I'm all up for that, and it's what 2027 is the
Mm.
projected release.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Except for 2027.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. July, I think it's July 9th, 2027. But I know I'll say it like this. Superman has me anticipated for whatever the next thing James
Yep.
Gunn's DCU is, and
Which is
I've
going to
been able to
be
say that about a
which is going
DC
to be
film for a long
Supergirl.
time. So
Supergirl next summer. Yeah,
Yep.
I can't wait to see Supergirl.
that's going
All
to be
right.
great. Also, last thing before we leave the DC universe,
Mm.
production has indeed started on the solo Clayface movie. So
Nice.
we're going to begin some production updates from that, including artwork, production artwork, set photos, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to be in for that.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. All right. So the next one will bring a tear to your eye. There is a documentary coming out called I Like Me, a documentary about John Candy that I'm looking forward to see. I hope it comes to theaters. If not, if it comes to streaming services, I'll be checking it out as well. But it was the headliner at the Toronto Film Fest,
Of
and
course.
and on opening night, and was given a very, very warm reception. So, gentlemen, what are your thoughts about this John Candy documentary, and are you as excited as I am to see it? Because I love the man and everything he was in, from Uncle Buck, to Trains, Planes, and Automobiles. Like, yeah,
I mean, Camp Candy. That was another one. Even on the animated, and it's just like one of my favorite. One of my favorite roles that he was in was the movie Stripes,
mm,
and with Bill Murray and oh my
Harold
goodness, Harold
Ramis.
Ramis. Yeah, you know, he played that role to the T, especially when he was the women. With the women, he was doing the mud wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
Um,
that was good shit.
so
Yo, Cyrus, what's good? What's good? What's good? Osiris 728.
No, what's up,
Ladies and
Osiris?
gentlemen,
Thanks for
in the
joining us.
business. What's good,
hey, hey.
yo?
Yeah. So, but yes, this is going to be. It's a Netflix production. So it's going to be definitely going to be on Netflix. Possibly Netflix put it in theaters. I will more than likely we'll be able to see it in theaters. Uh, it's being produced by Ryan Reynolds,
Okay.
and it's directed by Colin Hanks.
By Tom
So
Hanks?
No, Colin,
Colin,
his
his
son.
son.
Colin.
Yeah. Yep. So
Hanks.
um, the trailer is just under 3 minutes, and it's just nothing but A-list comedy legends talking about John Candy and how much he meant to them, the struggles that he had, just everything. Um, even you know, Mel Brooks has a quote. He was the total actor because he was a total person.
Yeah,
And
100%.
last story that's coming in light of this is, of course, Macaulay Culkin starred with him in Uncle Buck,
Yeah.
and Macaulay Culkin is revealed, or not revealed, but he's reinforming us of an interview that he did, years and years ago, just after John Candy died, where John Candy knew about Macaulay's home situation, how it wasn't good, how his father was exploiting him. And John sort of became an unofficial uncle to Macaulay Culkin, not just on the set, but afterwards, he would regularly call Macaulay, just call and say, "Hey, you doing okay? Everything all right? Things going good at home? You feeling okay?" On the regular, and it's something he didn't have to do, but it's just something that it reinforces that John Candy was just that kind of guy.
Yeah, he one of the big other big roles that he was in for me was the movie Nothing But Trouble.
Mm,
And
mm.
Mhm.
All around the world, the same song.
yeah, but that to me was really another good one. Especially anything that was with Dan Aykroyd and John
Mhm.
Candy. was good. Even the Blues Brothers.
The Blues
Yeah,
Brothers.
yeah, that one was the to me
Orange
was
Whip.
cutting edge
Orange Whip.
comedy.
Orange Whip. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and again, just fantastic in everything. And yeah, he didn't get
Steve Martin.
the hit of fame from Saturday Night Live that like Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd did,
yeah.
but his work with SCTV
Yeah,
was still absolutely phenomenal.
that was a
Oh,
show that
let's
I
not let
discovered very,
listen.
very late, but loved that
Yeah,
show.
Let's
Yeah,
let's not even talk about the McKenzie man. What? And well,
yeah,
not so much as the McKenzie brothers, but that whole SCTV,
yeah.
Andrea Martin, Eugene
Eugene
Levy,
Levy, Joe
all those,
Flaherty,
yeah, all those
Rick
guys up there.
Moranis. Yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
yep.
All right.
just man.
All right, gentlemen. So we'll stop the candy talk there for a quick second. Get back to some serious business.
Yeah.
As Warner Brothers sues Midjourney for purposely infringing copyrighted work. This is not the first time that San Francisco giant Midjourney has been sued by a company. I believe it was, they said Universal and Disney teamed up for a similar legal challenge last year. Or back in June. So, well, Dave, take us away. What does this mean as another AI art company?
Well, yeah. So basically, this is Warner Brothers. I mean, Disney and Universal is teaming up is bad enough. Warner Brothers is it's that it's that head dive directly into the scrum when when you got the dog pile already on the player and someone just
Jumps all
headbutt.
on top of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's not good. They Warner Brothers is asking for $150,000 per infringed work, and that is a lot of work considering the depth of Warner Brothers IP catalog. Of course, it's primarily going to be DC characters, but you also got to remember it's going to be Scooby Doo, it's going to be Bugs Bunny,
Mhm.
uh, and on and on and on. Um, and it's also uh, once you get to the discovery portion of the trial,
Mhm.
most people are thinking that this is going to be where people are going to see how the sausage gets made with
Okay.
generative.
All right. So we'll
Yeah.
keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers going out there and doing the things, even though we hate the C-suite. Thank you for
Uh,
doing it. Thank the legal team for whatever they're doing here.
Yeah, I know.
All right. So cult classic 1980s superhero show with the perfect 100 Rotten Tomato score is returning for new stories, but not in the way you would think. First of all, gentlemen, would you like to take a guess at what the 80s superhero show is?
Hold on, let me see. Let me think. Let me see. Oh, what? Knight Rider?
No, we
Possibly.
did that last week. The Cobra Kai guys are doing that.
Yeah.
This one is
Manimal? No, I'm just kidding.
Nope.
no. This one is. I'm pretty sure Dave's got the whatchamacallit. Well, Dave gave us this story, so I'm pretty sure he knows the answer. What's the answer, Dave?
I did.
That's what he did.
I'm looking back on the run sheet to see where I missed. Uh, yes. Well, believe it
And
or
it
not,
is.
folks,
Oh,
it's
the greatest American hero.
Hero.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I did read something a little bit about the return of a brand new comic series from
Yes.
Yes, I was just gonna say, and that's the
yeah.
way that it's coming back, not as a television show.
ADP, or
Uh,
what is it? Hang on. let me look it up, is coming from
Now I know that's supposed to be built
AMP.
kind of yeah,
AMP
and
Comics.
Bill Cat and
Yeah,
William
William
Cat
Cat
was
is going to be
supposed
the
to.
executive producer
Yes, sir. So for those of us who want to see the continued antics of Mr.
of
Hinckley,
Ralph Hinckley. Yes.
Well,
Ralph Hinckley.
well, you know what? Then I'm because I'm kind of wondering because there was a pilot episode of the
Uh,
greatest American
Heroin.
heroine,
Yeah.
yeah,
and it was supposed to been a spinoff,
Direct
but
continue with yeah.
yeah, the story of how Ralph Hinckley was supposed to be done. So
yeah.
I'm trying to figure if they are going to
Uh,
get around that story, or they're going to be doing stories from the '80s.
right.
From the 80s.
Um,
Okay.
Now, also, part of the creative team on this comic book is going to be Tanya McKiernan, who is the daughter of series creator Stephen J. Cannell.
Nice. Nice.
Okay,
Shout out
that's
real
what's
quick.
up.
What's up, Wood? Thanks for joining us on the YouTube channel.
Hey,
Appreciate you.
hey.
All right. So yeah, Greatest American Hero. If it's a limited edition, I'm down to be part of it. I don't know about
Yeah.
y'all. I would love to see some more stories. I used to
I
love
mean,
this show.
dude, that
I was
was
a kid. I know y'all were teenagers when it came out, but I was a kid.
No,
oh,
I
nah, bro, nah, bro. Get the
wasn't
fuck
that
out of
old.
here. I was not a teenager, bro. I
All
was
right,
in,
so we were all kids
yeah,
when it came out.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. All right, y'all. So for the final subject of Pop Culture Corner, before we get to this answer, uh, it has a little bit to do with wrestling, kind of like what we talked about The Rock. And it
Yeah.
is Mr. Cody Rhodes teases his impending role as Guile in the new Street
Yeah,
Fighter
I saw
movie
that.
with his new American Nightmare Guile
Logo.
logo.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, what do you guys think of
I
Cody
I am
Rhodes? I love it.
You
bravo.
know what? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you the most for me is the most interesting throwback with all of this is because they are actually including one of the fighters from the very first Street Fighter,
Mhm.
and I really need to find the clue on that
Yeah.
because yeah, we're talking about the one guy. His name was just Joe,
Yeah.
and he was yeah, he's the only one. Well, I mean, there was Sagat and a couple of others, but he's probably the only one to stand out for the Street Fighter series, and I think that's going to be interesting to see. So I want to see where he's going to be coming in at.
Yep. Um, the publicity and marketing by Street Fighter has been on point.
Yeah.
I mean, they last week they
Uh-oh.
released a graphic of the classic Street Fighter character select screen with every
Oh, yeah.
actor
Alongside.
digitized into 16 bits with the role.
Oh,
The only one that they missed, the odd man out, being Vega.
man.
But everyone else is in that screen, and we've got it up on the Facebook page. But yeah, they are
I'm here.
they are definitely they know they got a big hill to climb, both in expectations and
No, evidently. Well, yeah, it did get postponed for another year, but they
yeah,
just released who's going to be in it.
yeah.
Gentlemen, I got a question for you from Wood on the YouTube channel talking about, do you guys remember a show called Otto Man?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
not. So you guys
Oh,
would have to tell me
what?
that one. Yes.
Just after ABC Network, just after Tron hit, uh, and after ABC's Airwolf Knight Rider copy of Street Hawk sort of fell flat.
Yeah.
But yeah, Automan, basically Desi Arnaz Jr. as a police computer scientist who creates a Tron-like program that comes to life in the real world, and so he creates these neon graphic vehicles to fight crime in, wears a Tron suit, et cetera, et cetera.
Nice.
Yeah, it goes from a car to a helicopter, and
Yeah.
then they like there was even a cursor. There was a cursor as a starring role. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, it was in that. No, no, seriously,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
it was cursor. It
because
was, it was
you
cursor
remember,
spinning around.
yeah, it was the you remember in the original Tron there was the bit that
Came on
was
Channel 6 in Philly. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
No, see, like I said, I did watch the show. Like, I feel bad now because I want to revel in it with you guys, but I didn't.
dude, it did not hit any of your memory triggers.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
perfectly fine.
That was. It was only. It wasn't even a. It wasn't even a half a season.
Yeah,
That's
it
how.
wasn't. It was
It was
bad.
good.
Well, yeah,
It's just like I always tell people, it always blows my mind. There's 3 shows that people hardly ever talk about, but yet so many people, when I bring them up, are like, "Oh yeah, I remember that show, Silver Spoons,
yeah,
Yeah, I
Uh,
remember that.
Small Wonder,
I
yeah,
remember that.
and Out of This World."
yep.
And I remember that. That was,
Like,
that was the
Now
alien.
here's
That was Donna.
here,
That was
now
Donna
here's a
Moscow. Bro,
yeah. Here's a question though.
yeah,
Do you remember the Phoenix?
yes,
no.
I do.
Do you remember Otherworld?
I do. It was only like it wasn't even almost a season. They were constantly going to different to different Earths in the same time zone. There was there was one place where you could have to men had to go and do all the shopping, but you wouldn't women weren't allowed to go into grocery stores. Like, dude, like,
Do you remember Wizards and Warriors?
yes, absolutely.
Kev's
Do
just
you remember Manimal?
Oh yeah, Kev's just laughing because he's like, I don't remember any of this.
I don't remember any of this. Like, I'm not gonna lie, not old enough.
Yeah.
But all right, fellas. So let's get to that
Yeah.
pop question quiz so we can wrap this segment up. All right. The question was: in Die Hard with a Vengeance, what riddle does Simon Gruber force McClane and Zeus to solve involving a 5-gallon and a 3-gallon jug?
They have to fill a open container to exactly 4 gallons, and they only have a 5-gallon jug and a 3-gallon jug to
Be able to do it.
Yep.
be able to make it.
There you go. Dave nailed it. So 1 y'all, 1 me. So all right, y'all. Don't know which one of y'all may have gotten it.
No, he got it. Somebody got it. Somebody got it.
Being called out. Hey, stop it. I'll remember Out of This World, Small Wonder, and Silver Spoons. Yeah, a lot of people like Out of This World. I think it only ran for like a season, maybe 2. Like,
Yeah.
it didn't run for that long.
It was
2
2.5. It was 2.5
Yeah.
seasons. No, actually, it was quite a while.
Was it?
Yeah, that show Out of This World, I think it ran maybe 3 or 4 seasons.
I have to check that out while we go on break here. All right, guys. So this marks it for the end of Pop Culture Corner. Coming up after the break, we'll be talking a little bit of Raw and SmackDown in SmackDown Alley. And did we talk Clash in Paris yet? Yeah, we talked Clash in Paris.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
But there is something huge that we will get to, guys. So let us get to it. Okay, that happened this week. And if you're a wrestling fan, you pretty much already know what it is.
Okay.
But stick with us.
I'm about to blow everyone's mind.
What's that?
Out of This World, 4 seasons.
Wow.
That's
I
what
didn't
I
remember
thought.
that.
As
3 or
listed
4.
on
I did around
IMDb.
1 or 2.
That-
Then now, oh God. Let me see. Which one? Out of This World was, I just remember the main character's name was Evie.
Yep. Maureen.
Her dad was like a glowing rock, kind of like Zordon from fucking Power Rangers.
Yeah, how she was communicating from after she learned she's part alien.
Yeah. And then she had the ability, like I remember the first time I ever saw it was in Out of This World, and then I saw it in Saved by the Bell when Zach goes timeout, and then he talks to the camera, And she used to do the same thing. She would stop it, and then she'd talk to the camera for a little bit, do what she had to do, and then she'd unfreeze time. Just thought it was, when I was a kid, I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Okay.
Thought she was just awesome.
And my last two obscure 80s TV shows, Voyagers.
Yeah, I remember that.
And The Powers of Matthew Starr.
Oh my God, that was that I don't even think that lasted like I don't even think that lasted a season. That was with Louis Gossett Jr.
Yep. He couldn't even help that show. It was two. It was 2 seasons. I remember because season 2 was him and Matthew on the run because the government had finally uncovered everything and were chasing him. So they turned it from a static setting to a location of the week setting.
I'll say this as we roll out the door. He brought up Lou Gossett Jr. And there's a movie that I remember, and I know he's in this one. Damn it. I know that man was in The Principal with Jim Belushi.
Absolutely. That movie was filmed in Oakland. Get the fuck out of here. I was trying to get in as an extra on that one. Oh yeah.
All right, fellas. And so we'll be right back, y'all. Stick with us. Double K, The Saint, Rune Scryer, bringing it to you. Peace.
This is now versus then. This is now versus then. Get on your mark, let's go. This is now versus then. Burning up your radio, still turning up the heat with Poetic on the flow. Got you moving to the beats with the Saint as your host. Shout out the collective, hold it down, we gon' clown, that's the lesson. We're Generation X meets Generation Next, with them bangers from the east to the south to the west. Yeah, this how we do it in Sacktown. Slide to the studio, yup, it goes down. These beats gon' pound, waking the game up, told you it goes down. And this is only the intro. Turn the mics on, shout out to my kinfo. Where you at, y'all? Let's get this started. Turn down for what? We about to start the party. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. This is now versus then. This is now versus then. This is now versus then. This is now versus then.
Start out with
that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But the definition of beauty is distorted. Yeah, come on. Searching for yourself, so insecure about the way you look, so you go to Miami. You can't find the love within yourself.
All right. Ta-da! And your hosts are back, just like that. That's right. It's the Cheap Pop Podcast where we do magic. It is real, y'all. Magic is real. We do it every week. Bring it to you here. All right, so
You got jokes, bro.
I got jokes for days. She got for days, according to Domino. I got jokes for days. And not a single one of them is funny. Anyway. All right, y'all. So we're going to jump.
I heard you got a reputation like a kidney stone. Hard pass.
Oh, my goodness.
That was funny. Okay.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
I will not even take credit for that. I just saw that meme. So,
well, I was gonna say, I felt like turning into Splinter from the original Ninja Turtles movie. You made a funny. Anyway,
okay.
That was my favorite scene, man. I don't know about y'all. Y'all can like
you got issues, man.
I love Splinter. That rap was my homeboy. He was a dad when they had no dad. Okay, man. Nobody else was willing to take some radiation-covered turtles in. He was willing to do it and raise them like grown men.
Man, we need to bring that other guy back, man.
Ain't no other guy, man. Ain't no other guy. It's just me.
The guy that was mopping the floor, man. You fired him.
I keep my mouth shut on that.
Hey, man, I told you he got his citizenship. He out, man. He going to get a real job. All right, he was just doing that for us on under. Shh. All right, so Pop culture quiz. As always, gentlemen, to start off the SmackDown segment, in which we're going to be talking about the key events of Raw and SmackDown, just a quick format change for those who are watching or listening. All right, so let's start with In the Usual Suspects in 1995. What object does Agent Kwan notice that helps him realize Verbal Kent is Kaiser Sose?
Agent Kujan.
Kujan. Agent Cootie? No. It's a Kujan. Okay. You ain't coming back? Why ain't you coming back? You know you love this show, Tech Tinkers. You can't get enough. So we're going to go on ahead. You know what? And instead of starting out with a Raw review, we're going to start out with a feel-good story. For those of you who didn't watch it, I didn't get a chance to see the whole match, but I did read a few articles about it, and I'm actually rather impressed by it. But Paul Walter Hauser, for those of you who don't remember, most recently he played Mole Man in
Fantastic Four.
In the Fantastic Four, and he was also in Cobra Kai. Yeah, and so he wrestled his first actual wrestling match at Fight Without Honor, an ROH pay-per-view, and from what I've heard,
was Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
And they didn't pull very many punches because apparently
he took a beat down.
He took a beat down. He took some thumbtacks and
yeah.
Damn.
I'm like, wow. Like I said, it reminds
that jelly roll.
No, it reminded me of kind of who was it? David Arquette when he did it. it was like you had to respect kind of what David Arquette did because he put his body through hell. Like as somebody who was not a professional wrestler by trade, he put his body through hell.
Yep.
That's it.
Oh yeah, that was. You know what? That was probably one of my favorite movies, man.
What?
Favorite wrestling movies. Fucking
Man in the
with
Moon.
Oliver Platt and
Oh, Ready to Rumble.
yeah, Ready to Rumble. That
Yeah.
was. I mean, it was the WCW product.
Hold on a
But,
sec, folks.
it was the WCW product, but you know, I took it for I took it for a grain of salt. But Diamond Dallas Page was a hell of a villain in that
Yeah, he
movie.
was.
Yeah.
So, but congratulations to him on getting his first wrestling match in. Hopefully, there'll be plenty more to come. Maybe not like that though. Maybe they'll teach him some more in ring stuff, and he can actually get decent at it, so he doesn't have to go hurt himself. All right. So next up is a Monday Night Raw review. Some of the key topics that were covered in Raw this week surrounded the Usos, CM Punk and Becky Lynch, Dominic Mysterio, and also the Kabuki Warriors and Finn Balor. Yeah. So let's start at the top with we saw a reuniting of sorts for the Usos at the end of Raw this week when Jey Uso was getting beat down by the Vision. Well, Jey Uso and LA Knight were getting beat down by the Vision. And I'll say
The last minute save.
Yeah. And the last minute save was made by Jimmy Uso, and the crowd goes wild. And everybody is happy to see Jimmy back with Jay. And you also hear, if you listen carefully at the end of it, you hear Jay say, I need you. I need you. And Jimmy say, I'm here. So I wonder if this means probably that Jimmy is now a permanent member of Raw or for the foreseeable future. And we're going to get the Usos back.
Mm-hmm. We'll see.
So,
And I'm looking for that because the simple fact is that let's just say it right off the point. They are one of the greatest, if not the greatest, tag team pair ever.
Yep.
Okay. Those guys
I will put them up there with the Dudleys,
off,
Edge and Christian.
started
Hardys.
even with the Hardys, but
Yeah.
they started off like whoop, whoop, whoop. They separated. They did their verses, and they ended up working separately, but bringing it back together. I think something very magical with that,
Oh,
and
yeah.
probably taking the tag team titles yet again.
I personally think that they're putting together a group by bringing Jimmy in. They're putting together a group of it's going to be Roman, Jay, Jimmy against Seth and the Vision. Like because now with all three of them on Raw, I think that they come back together. Not necessarily as the bloodline, but I think we will see a combination of those three come together to face off against Seth Rollins and company. Maybe at Survivor Series, maybe in a War Games match. Who knows? That would be a record though, because that would be, at least to me, from what I know, that would be a third consecutive War Games match involving the bloodline in some way.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Like the third consecutive year of it. So from that we got to what a lot of people wanted to talk about, that setup. What we will talk about when we get to SmackDown, CM Punk and Becky Lynch's confrontation.
Yeah.
In which
That was funny.
I liked it.
It was funny.
I saw an idiot online talk about, CM Punk's an asshole. He's no selling Becky's slaps like they're not supposed to. He's not supposed to be. So they're not supposed to hurt. She's just lightly smacking him.
Yeah. I'm honestly surprised that Punk didn't reply to. It's like, was that supposed to hurt?
Well, I like his.
Because you slept like a baby.
Yeah. He slept like a baby. Well, I'll say this though, like Punk's words stung just as much as any verbal or as any physical attack would have when he told her, your husband will regret cashing in on me and you will regret laying your hands on me.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll just leave it there. We'll get to the rest of it when we get to SmackDown and what that meant. But yeah, I like that segment. I love those two going back and forth. Becky Lynch.
I like her theme too.
I've truly never seen a woman get so many boos saying the exact same thing every single week when she comes out. Like,
it's not just us saying it.
Yeah, it's not just us saying it. Exactly. Exactly. Like, I'm like, oh my God, girl, I love you for this. Because, and yeah, you guys just respect me. You know who I am. I love her. I love her like this. I love the fact that they added her to Seth's group. I can't wait to see if this continues on and they continue to do things with this. It would definitely make me happy. Now, Dirty Dom, with the help of El Grande Americheat.
Which one? Uno, dos, tres?
I think it was Uno.
It's Kaiser, yeah.
It may have been dos. Maybe tres. I don't know. But all I know is that El Grande American asshole was there. Okay? And he stopped AJ Styles from beating Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental title, which means that at Worlds Collide, or not Worlds Collide, Worlds Collide next week, there is a chance that Dirty Dom Mysterio could walk out with the Intercontinental Championship and the AAA Mega Championship. And that is not a world in which I want to live in.
Exactly.
Never. No. Stop it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
There will be none of that, right?
There should be none of that.
Nope.
Now, here's what's funny. I don't care if they gave him the AAA title and took away the IC, or gave him the IC and took away and had him not win the AAA. But don't give him both.
Yeah.
Don't give him both. Don't. Anyway. So
I don't know. It might be for some good shock value, man.
I need AJ Styles with the Intercontinental title. Period.
Yep.
I need, let's see. Some other notable things that happened on Raw. The Kabuki Warriors defeated Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez via submission. I like kind of what they're doing with Asuka.
Yeah.
It's like
Asuka losing the plot.
Yeah.
And Kyrie just looking like, Mommy and Daddy are yelling at each other again.
And you got Io Sky kind of trying to break away from it all. Like, I love what they're doing with that. It makes perfect sense. Penta and the War Raiders won a 6-man tag match against Grayson Waller and the New Day.
Yeah, that I wasn't. That match. I was kind of like, I mean, I like the New Day, but Grayson Waller. It's like he kind of doesn't need to exist in
Damn.
I'm just like, I mean,
although
he was better with he was better with A-Town, that jackass. But Grayson Waller, he's a unidentified jackwagon, man. He just get the fuck out the yard, bro.
Okay, but
no.
At the same time, he does play the white boy, the Wonder Bread hang on very well.
Yes, he does.
He does, but
he's trying to get in good with the urban guys,
and
doesn't know how to do it.
That's kind of like Doctor Who saying, "Oh, I've seen what you've done with the TARDIS. I don't like it."
I don't like it.
And it's fair enough, man. It's fair enough. But for me, it also allows Xavier and Kofi the opportunity. It gives them another puppy to kick.
Right.
Is what I'm saying.
Somebody to kick around. Somebody that's just gonna kind of be there. But all right. And then the last couple of points to touch on. Finn Balor did defeat Dragon Lee in the singles match. That was actually pretty good. Those two guys can both go in the ring well. And then there was another match set up for WrestlePalooza between Io Sky and Stephanie Becker for the vacant Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Now that is a match that I am looking forward to.
Yep.
And according to Adam Pearce, it's official. There you go. Speaking
of which, okay, no, never mind. I'll get to this after we do SmackDown.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we had a couple of different things happen on SmackDown this week. All right, as we had let's see, there are plenty of things to be excited about, like Aleister Black defeating Damian Priest. That was something to be excited about. That was a really good
Whoa,
match.
now you know what? Now
Okay,
I got to say something about that.
yeah,
That threw me off. Like
yeah,
I just
that's a
sat up
good
there and
match.
was like, did he? Did he? What?
Left
What?
Damien
Oh,
looking at the ceiling. Left Damien
and
looking at the
and
ceiling.
and and I was like, that came out of nowhere, man.
Yep.
And
Uh,
Aleister Black is just like he's a dirty bastard.
Brock Lesnar made another appearance and attacked John Cena during a U.S. Open Championship match with Sami Zayn, which was, by the way, another good match in which Cena does some more homages. He did an homage to Kurt Angle with an Angle Slam and the friggin' ankle lock, the angle lock. Like John Cena's going out to me in the right way. Some people say no, I say yes.
But he F5'd Sami Zayn and fucking John Cena. Like, dude, like
Yeah.
he just came in there, cleaned house, smiled, and said, boom, boom, boom. Oh, what happened?
Yeah,
And then
and I do like the fact that having Brock back and being Cena's rival gives a good transition for Cena to return back to the babyface.
he already is a babyface though.
Yeah.
Right. He's not babyface anymore.
Huh?
That heel
Not
turn,
babyface
that heel run was only like 5 seconds, if best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, he went back to being a face shortly after when he dropped the title back to Cody. He was back to being a face.
Right, but what I'm saying is that it gives John something to strive.
Well, yeah, it gives him an opponent. Well, I think again they're having Brock do it like this because Brock is going to eventually. He has a limited amount of dates, so you can't build a story in the way you normally would of having Cena come out and then this and that and having them have back and forth and tag team matches. So I think it's going to be this. Lesnar is just going to attack Cena at like his next five appearances, and then for his final appearance and match, they'll actually have the match. Well, actually, no, sorry, they're wrestling at
Their match. Yeah, they're wrestling. They're doing
but that may be one of 3. Remember, it could be a trilogy. But you're right. It may not.
I think so. No, I honestly, man, I honestly believe somebody, and I'm telling you, somebody's gonna come out of nowhere. I mean, somebody we probably have no idea. I mean, we kind of knew in a sense, well, not really knowing that that the next appearance that was coming up, but I guarantee you somebody's gonna come back and it's gonna totally throw off, it's gonna be a large pop.
Well,
I'm telling you, I honestly
we got
believe
him. I'll say no. We'll get to that. I'll say, but Julia retained her United States Championship in a great match against Michin.
I'm just going to go camera dark for a little bit because I need to get some more crunchies, and nobody wants to see me eating trying to. Oh no.
All right, so Michin and Julia for the U.S. title was a good match. I just don't know why we keep running away from giving Michin that U.S. title at least for a month or two. Like she deserves it. Like just let's.
I agree.
But I also knew that it wasn't going to happen this week because Julia's just bare. This was like only her second title defense since she won the title. So yeah, I don't see that. But it was a great match. Sorry about that. I was going to wait for Dave to come back to talk about this. So let's get to next week's matches were announced. Let's see. They announced Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton, Tiffany Stratton defending against Jade Cargill, and Brock Lesnar will also be confirmed to be a part of next week's show. So I'm hyped for all of that. And Nia Jax as well has took it upon herself to say to Tiffany that Jade Cargill does not deserve the the title shot that she's getting next week, but we'll see. I think she was supposed to win it at SummerSlam, but they for some odd reason put it off, and Jade Cargill will win it this upcoming week. But we'll see how that goes. Okay, so I was waiting for Dave to return back. Where we landed, folks, at the end of SmackDown was in a great place. We ended with a Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins promo that led to CM Punk coming out again, which again led to Becky Lynch.
Seth Rollins being in literally doing the promo from like a different city.
Yeah, he was in the top part.
He was in the skybox, but he was as far away from the ring as possible.
And so they had their back and forth, and then Punk comes out, or Seth Rollins he cuts a promo, introduces Becky. Becky comes out. CM Punk comes out to interrupt Becky. And let's just say good things happened from there as Becky began to inevitably slap Punk and push him around again. And Punk steps out of the ring, and as Becky's mocking him, Punk turns around and says, everybody here in Chicago that knows me knows I would never hit a lady. And then he proceeds to say, but that doesn't mean I don't know somebody who will.
Like one of my sisters.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's what he said. Yeah, in the in-ring segment, he said, like one of my sisters, like, so on and so forth. And then he said, but luckily I have somebody in my corner who will. The crowd goes silent, and the music of the one, the only, the lovely, the mini me that is AJ Lee hits, and the crowd goes berserk because they had been chanting for her all
they knew that this was going to be her return tonight or Friday night, and AJ just comes skipping out, and Becky dropped a couple deuces in her shoulder.
Becky Lynch showed how much range she has as an actress.
Yes.
Like the way she played that fear and it was excellent. Can't wait to see him back. They immediately booked a match at WrestlePalooza for AJ Lee and CM Punk versus Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins.
Right.
And I think that match is going to be fire.
By the way, and for SmackDown, AJ skips her way into the ring. Becky's like that, and then AJ begins to put Converse to ass.
Yeah. It's good and looking good as ever. She is just looking as amazing as ever. 10-year hiatus. It's ironic that her and Punk both had exactly 10-year hiatuses from WWE before making.
Well, here's something that I learned. I need to confirm it, but apparently, the day that Punk and AJ got married, that was the same day that WWE released Punk.
Wow!
On his wedding day. Again, internet.
No, I do believe I've heard that story before about Punk and his release. Yeah, like it's luckily it's all behind us. They're back home where they belong.
Right.
But I also heard rumors. Don't know, can't verify any. Haven't been able to verify any of it, but I've seen it in multiple places. But AJ Lee signed a multi-year deal, so this will not be a one-off. This will not be her wrestling with Punk at WrestlePalooza and then she's gone. Can't wait to see what they do with her. I genuinely hope her first. She doesn't need any more world championships. She's already a Divas champion. Yeah. Have her eyes set on, since you got them feuding with Becky Lynch, have her eyes set on that Intercontinental title. On taking that strap from her.
And
let her and Punk be world champions at the same time.
Yeah. The social media from the locker room for AJ Lee was fantastic. I think I think the Star of India comment coming from Naomi when AJ comes back into the ring and Naomi just posted on her social media account, "Wrong time, Big Jim. Wrong time."
Because the division's heating up. You add somebody like AJ Lee to it. There are some that say that they don't understand her celebrity and why people they think that she's overrated, but I don't. I think that she was the transition between the divas and women's wrestling as we know it today. She was the spark that sparked that transition. That transition that was further flamed by the four horsewomen of Bayley and Charlotte and Becky and Sasha.
Because
and,
it was, back in the day, it was that women's wrestling, the emphasis was more on TNA.
Look rather than skill. Yeah.
Right. And skill and ability a distant fifth. Right. Now, I'm not saying that the TNA factor is gone by any means, but they've definitely moved the skill up in the importance of skill to the women's division up considerably. And I think that's the more that Triple H and The Rock got influence in WWE/TKO. I think that's when the women's division started getting more internal respect from the C-suite.
I would say recently, yes. If you want to go back as far as you want to go, you can look back to the days of Lita and Trish Stratus and how they kind of changed the game from how women were looked at prior to them. And then you can go back to the Fabulous Moolah, so on and so forth, that took women's wrestling, even though I don't know if it was some of the controversy surrounding her. She still was important to the evolution of women's wrestling. And
Wendy Richter also.
Yeah, Wendy Richter. So it's like to say that women haven't been skilled or aren't more skilled than they are now. I would say there's a certain level of there are many more.
I got a question
than there were back in the day. What's up?
I got a question. You have the sensational Sherry. You've even I know that Fabulous Moolah, whatever. Why hasn't Wendy Richter been included in a WWE game? And I mean, literally.
It may be because she isn't willing to sell her likeness. It may just be because she's not willing to sell her likeness. Like that's why they're not putting her in.
Yeah. Just out of curiosity.
Because they can't put her in there without her permission.
Right.
Unless, wait a minute. Is that her actual name or was that her WWE name? Because if it was just her WWE name, then they can put her in there without it because Vince owned the copyright to all the WWE names. But if Wendy Richter is her actual name, then no, they wouldn't be able to use it without her permission. All right. So just to wrap up SmackDown Alley right quick, we end with this article or with this headline. Drake reveals that married WWE superstar Rhea Ripley is his muse. Now, there's been rumors that Rhea has responded and said that she prefers Kendrick Lamar, but I have not been able to confirm that outside of one place on Facebook.
Yes.
So,
I know.
But that would be hilarious if that's what she did say, because Drake has just been catching L's left and right all year, and it started with the Super Bowl, and it's just been coming left and right ever since. So that wouldn't surprise me, but I could see how Rhea Ripley is a muse. She's a muse to a lot of men.
Yeah.
Maybe not in ways that she'd like to be, but she's a muse to a lot of men. Yeah. She really is. She's a beautiful young lady, and she does great work as a character and in ring. So
as an athlete, exactly. But it's like Drake, stop, just stop.
Yeah.
Okay, fire Barbara Streisand as your PR manager.
Stop the cap. Please stop the cap. That's it.
And don't be trying to slide into nobody's DMs because Buddy Matthews will break you in half. Like he will break you in half without even trying. So just stay out of DMs. Look at the pictures. Look at the pictures online. Join the Rhea Ripley fan club. Become the president. But just leave it there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, gentlemen. So we're going to get back to this pop culture quiz before we move on to the video game segment that I know Tech Tinkers love so much. And the pop culture quiz question was, in the Usual Suspects 1995 movie, what object does Agent Kujan notice that helps him realize Verbal Kent is Kaiser Sose?
A coffee mug.
It's the bottom of the coffee cup.
Okay.
The name of the on the bottom of the coffee cup is oh, I had the name I was thinking about it. It's not Konami, it's something like that.
It is details on the bulletin board and the coffee mug in the office, names, places,
Kobayashi.
and Kobayashi that Verbal used in his story.
Yeah.
I will give you guys that one. Coffee cup.
No, the first one. Yeah,
Whirlwind Dreamer, yeah.
the first one.
It was the coffee cup. It was a coffee mug first, and then he looked around, and then he saw all the bulletin boards had names and details that got incorporated, and then he noticed the name of the manufacturer of the bulletin board was the same, from Skokie, Illinois, where Verbal was talking about the barbershop quartet. And now,
All right.
interesting thing is that I've learned that there's a theory that Verbal was not Kaiser Soze, in fact.
Okay.
Okay. In that there's two possibilities. One, Kaiser Soze is still just a gangland fairy tale.
Okay.
Okay. The more interesting one is that Pete Postlewaite's character, the lawyer, was actually Kaiser Soze.
Huh. I think that would have been an interesting twist.
And that Verbal Kent was just the buffer man.
I could see that. I could see that. Hey.
One of the beauties
Yes.
of the film.
Yep. Well, say, all right. So that was our answer for that there. And then, so that will take us into, gentlemen. Oh, no. There you go. That will take us into the final segment. Well, the second to final segment. All right, video game reviews. Saint, I'll let you kick us off before we dive into some of the articles that we have this week. You had a couple of games that you wanted to talk about.
Okay. Basically, I have to talk about Shinobi.
Okay.
And we are talking about hold on a second. Give me Shinobi. Yeah, Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Now, side scroller by Sega. It's pretty decent. I'm enjoying it right now. It kind of gives me those feelings that when I used to play the old school Shinobi games and even Shadow Dancer. So it definitely has its perks. It definitely has its, like, I will have some clips up a little later on this week. And then of course I have to talk about once again Ninja Gaiden. Now, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is kind of like a reboot of the old school NES Ninja Gaiden games. Not the one from the arcade, and not the ones necessarily around Dead or Alive. This is the one from Ninja Gaiden 1, 2, and 3, and it's kind of like a soft reboot or kind of like a reimagining of those games. And side scroller, nice nice combat. Um, they used to have these birds and stuff like that used to just attack. Like you remember how animals used to just attack in them side scrollers, and you just want to go ahead, just knock them the fuck off. Well, that's just basically what it is. And out of the two quote unquote ninja style games, I think they're pretty good, and I think you might want to be able to check them out. Both of them are around maybe close to $30 right now, but I really can't make a decision on which one I like best because both of them kind of reminds me of back in the day, with just with the old school, with the old school Shinobi and Ninja Gaiden. So we'll just have to see where it goes. But I will say it is incredibly challenging.
Okay.
Incredibly challenging. So yeah, those are the two that I wanted to throw out there.
All right. So I'll let that take. Thank you, Saint, for those recommendations. We
Absolutely.
will drop that into the final pop culture quiz question. And yes, and you in the audience, as was asked by Whirlwind, yes, if you in the audience want to answer in the comment section, feel free. The final and last question for this particular show will be in Back to the Future Part 2, when Marty buys the Gray's Sports Almanac. What years does the book cover? You guys, okay, I'll let you guys come back with that answer in a little bit. All right, Dave, we kick us off with, I believe this was you as well. Skyrim player marries a literal dragon with the help of a mod, giving Dragonborn a whole new meaning as he breaks the RPG and makes it run as buggy as Oblivion.
Yeah.
Fill us in, sir.
All right. So, among the gazillion and one mods available for Skyrim, there is one. Let me look up the name real quick. Um, I cannot find it, but it's available on Nexus. Yes. So there's a mod on Nexus Mod called Scylla, Female Dragon Follower. So it basically gives you a dragon as a follower, like, say, Lydia or any of the other House Carls in Skyrim, or anyone who's going to join you on your adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got a dragon coming with you. But because it's companion, it uses some of the companion programming, which means that you can romance the dragon.
Oh my God. You gotta be kidding me, right?
Now, bear in mind also that there also has to be programmed conversation for the marriage.
Yeah.
So guys definitely knew, they planned for this ahead of time.
Yeah.
And this is from 2020, a mod that from 2020. Now the problem though is that it crashed the game almost, like literally dropping it to like single digit frames per second.
Dang.
Yeah. And apparently this user Thin Coyote 551 has also used a mod to marry giants.
Oh my God. Here's the thing about it. It reminds me of a scene. If you've ever seen the show The Good People or The Good Place, reminds me of a scene where they go to the accounting area of the whatchamacallit. And there's a guy, and his job is to track all the new sex acts, right? And it's like, why is it every time human beings discover something new, eventually there's a sex act made out of it or something? Like, why? This is another example of why somebody decided to write that line. Why?
Yep.
Why must we do these things?
And apparently there's also a mod called Marry Anyone, which does just what it says on the tin. Allows you to marry almost all NPCs.
Oh my God.
So
Why?
yes, you can marry that arrogant bastard who asks you constantly, "Do you ever get up to the Cloud District?"
Yes, to marry you, friend. To marry you. No, anyway. All right, so to move James C. Kirk made having sex with any race, species, normals.
And crack costs money.
This shouldn't be anything new these days, yeah. All right. So next subject up is about EA Sports. It looks like they will no longer be making a college basketball game. They will most likely leave that to 2K, which I'm all for it. I'm sorry,
Listen,
okay, look. EA Sports, what was it? NBA Live was a great game for its time. 2K has far surpassed NBA Live as a game, and
well,
there ain't no catching up.
well, here's the deal. Here's the deal, and this comes from this end. The only reason EA can't get back into the basketball games because they wanted to monopolize the NBA just like they did the NFL with Madden. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, let's keep it a buck.
Yep.
They don't want this, they don't want the smoke. But at the same time, NBA 2K has been slacking on their stuff. Now, 2K26, I got a chance to play it.
uh,
Okay, it's a little better than 2K25, just a little bit, but no. We need a college basketball game. We really do. We've been one. What was the last one? Like what? 12, 13?
it was NCAA Basketball 10, 2000. It came out in 2009.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because there was a little bit of a like a extra um it was it was 2010 and it was on the arcade for the Xbox 360.
Okay. So here is
So yeah.
directly from the article by Zach Zweisen on what is this?
Kotaku.
Kakaku. All right. He says a little background. In June, EA Sports teased online that it was developing a new college basketball game, which would have been the first from EA since '09's NCAA Basketball 10. So a lot of fans were excited about the news. However, there was a problem. 2K also had video game plans that involved college basketball teams and players. It says, unlike EA's plan to develop a whole video game, 2K wants to create college basketball DLC for NBA 2K games and or a new mode in the game as a way of testing the waters for a full standalone release later. And despite the college licensing company asking schools to sign EA's deal, it was reported last month that many Division I schools were taking 2K's deal instead. As a result, EA is taking its digital ball and leaving.
Yep.
So basically, instead of I agree. I see what you're saying, Dave. Like basically, EA is one of those things right now where what they're doing is if we can't run it all,
Yep.
or like Saint said, we can't run it all, we don't want no part of it.
Yep.
Because they could sign the college, they could put out the competing games, but they already know that 2K is going to outsell them because NBA 2K is already an established brand, and they're kind of re-breaking into the college basketball world. So
What?
I say
26
smart move by EA.
26 editions coming across what? Three different platforms?
They started on the Dreamcast, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly. Yeah, they started on the Dreamcast. So. All right, and Dave, you'll have to fill us in on this one. The last one is from BBC.com, and it's gamers frustrated as Hollow Knight Silk Song crashes stores on launch.
Yes.
My daughter has been talking about this game for a while, so go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so the wildly popular Hollow Knight game, the sequel, Hollow Knight Silk Song, just launched.
Yeah.
But between the pre-orders and everyone shut up and give me and take my money, servers or on stores. I'm not talking about like just like Best Buy and GameStop, et cetera, et cetera. those store servers were crashing. They crashed Steam.
Damn. Because so many people were buying it, huh?
So many people were buying it. The traffic was just so much bandwidth being used up that they crashed the servers.
Wow. That's
Yep.
insane.
That's
All right.
So it started 3:00 p.m. British Standard Time, with errors persisting until around 5:30.
Yeah. Wow. Like that's
Including, social media users also shared the difficulties in trying to purchase Silksong on other platforms, including the Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox game stores.
wow. I'm glad my daughter didn't try to do it because she was talking about wanting to do it from like day one, and I was like, all right, yeah, let me see if I got the money. I'm glad I did. She
Yep.
would have been disappointed. All right, so let's start winding it down here. That was the last story I had.
Oh, there
Let me
was
see
one
first.
thing. There
What's
was
up,
one thing
Saint?
I wanted to mention. Yeah, for those that got a chance to see the state of play this past week, coming up with the brand new James Bond First Light,
Yep.
first 007 game in, I guess, since Activision's 007 Legends. And you know me, I'm a big James Bond fan, and this is supposed to be a cross of Hitman and Uncharted.
Wow.
Yep.
And
Oh,
yeah,
and they also just released the actor who's going to be providing the voice.
For
for James Bond. I honestly believe that this is going to be the origin story as far as the new James Bond movies going forward, because I mean it's already owned by Amazon, and you know they I just believe that that's what they're going to do.
Yeah. And James is going to be voiced by Patrick Gibson, currently being able to be seen in Dexter Original Sin.
okay.
And it's been a pretty positive response from the fans.
All right. So something to keep on the lookout for.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, fellas, let's jump into this last segment, feet first, and that is where can we find you next? Where we find out what these two guys are up to this week and where you can find them as well as me. Rune Scrier, go ahead and kick us off. Let us know what's going on with the night shift, sir.
Okay, so Friday night, got the bubble guts happening about a half hour before broadcast, so backed out of that one. Last night, we had technical issues, but they worked out. So I'm going to be back on night shift tonight, midnight. I'm going to be switching it up. We're going to be doing Horizon Zero Dawn tonight and tomorrow night, and moving Spider-Man 2 to Friday, Saturday,
All right.
just to get back on the schedule.
And Saint, where can we find you next, sir?
Okay, I will be, because we are going back to school. So I will probably 9 times out of 10 be on sometime tomorrow, but I definitely will be on Tuesday. We're trying to get an edition of Now versus Then. Hopefully, this is going to be in the works. And then, of course, we're going to be game streaming Wednesday, and we're doing Thursday. And that's pretty much about it.
All right. And then for me, I'm promising you guys I will get in at least a game or stream or two this week. I know I haven't been on in a while. Haven't had a chance taking care of some stuff around my home. But I will be on again this week. And let's see. I will be on again tonight if you're interested with the classroom. It should be me and Swab for sure. Potentially me, Swab, and O'Malley. but you'll have to tune in to find out. We're going to be talking about the Micah Parsons trade, week 1 of the NFL season, some fantasy football, etc. So we'll be on at 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern. So, gentlemen, I want to tell you, as always, it's been a pleasure. Thank you guys for joining us here. And thanks to everybody from Tech Tinkers to Whirlwind Dreamer to Osiris, to Wood. Thanks to everybody who tapped in the comment section, making our show live and fun for everybody watching at home. And we will be back next week to talk much more pop culture, wrestling, and video games right here on the Cheap Pop Podcast. Peace. You reading this out, Saint?
Yes, I am. Let's go.
All right. 2.
Bye.